the Great Bear Auto Body Shop in Flushing, Queens. Audra, tell us, how did you got involved as an auto mechanic?
Well, I got involved as an auto mechanic by association because my family was in auto repair. My great-grandfather started an auto repair shop with his 4 sons in 1933. So if you were in my house, you needed to speak car if you wanted to be part of the conversation.
Sounds like the Blue Buds TV show. And so you grew up around cars.
Mm-hmm.
And has the work that auto mechanics do changed over the years?
It's been light years living through it. Well, if we think back to 1933 when my grandpa was fixing the Model T and they were working on crank cars, the 60s were luxurious when it came to the carburetor. Everything was mechanical and real easy to fix, comparing it to today. But I've lived through the carburetor. We went to fuel injection, direct injection, hybrids, and now we're working on electric.
So a lot of things in terms of diagnosis, you're going with your experience and your skill, but you're also relying on the computer?
Well, of course. The technology has taken over in tremendous ways. So we use the computers as tools to help us diagnose and repair the vehicles now.
Okay. And is it a good field? It's something, obviously, that cannot be outsourced, and many people are keeping their cars longer, so they need to repair or even replace certain things over the years?
Well, if you consider that you're driving so many miles and you're spending so many hours in your car, it's the nature of the beast. When you're using something so much, you need to maintain it in order for it to be reliable.
And safe. And so do you recommend that some young person go into auto mechanics? Is it a good field?
Personally, I love auto mechanics. I love auto repair. I think that the industry is spectacular. As far as a career opportunity, I think it's outstanding. There is so much opportunity right now. People are looking for help, and it's not what it used to be when I was a kid, it was a dirty, greasy environment. But today, because the cars are so much more technological, computerized, they're clean.
And you're almost like a scientist.
But a scientist, an engineer.
Engineer, thank you. That's a better word. So where can someone get training? Let's say they're good with their hands, they're interested in cars, they're interested in engineering. How can they get an additional training or or experience it close up to see if it's something they're interested in?
So womenautoKnow.com has resources that you can go to get information about the car, whether you want it as an industry, as a career choice, or if you're just a regular driver who's looking for information to be safer on the road.
And there is a growing field, again, for car repair in shops like yours, people opening their own business or working for, let's say, a car dealer. And also those skills are very portable. If you move to another part of the country or even working for the government, they need mechanics for their
fleets,
buses and fleets, etc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there sure is. And it's non-gender biased. So it's for male and female. And like you're saying, so I'm in auto repair, but there is auto body, and then there's painting cars, and then there's the collision aspect of it. Or you could be an attorney who focuses on automobile accidents.
Okay. That may not be as good as being an auto mechanic like yourself. What are some other things? What should someone have in their car in case of emergency?
So some things that you should have in your car in case of emergency would be, I say, always a pen and a pencil and paper. If it's cold, a pen wouldn't work if you need to jot down some information, and that's like a backup in case your phone is not working.
Should people carry like a flashlight or a blanket?
Absolutely, keeping a flashlight with better batteries separately. Again, if your phone is not working, then you still need to be able to see. And having non-perishable food, like a granola, just in case. And definitely a blanket. That's good for the winter if you're cold, or if you get stuck at the beach. You want to lay down.
And if someone, let's say, experiences an emergency and they have to pull over, it's important they pull over to a safe spot and not really be on the road or on the side of the road?
I was driving on the highway, and I did see a woman who got out of the car on the highway side, and it was a tragic accident. I still to this day don't know why she got out of the car on the driver's side.
Well, again, people don't know, so I want you to educate them.
And that's case in point. If you're in moving traffic, do not get out of the car with traffic. Get out on the passenger side if you must. Otherwise, ride as far as you can off of the highway. But if you can't get off the highway, don't panic. Just pull over so that you are safe. And if you cannot get out of your vehicle, then stay where you are until somebody can come and help you.
And it can be dangerous if you're trying to change your tire or look at your vehicle and you're in a zone where cars might hit you.
Absolutely unsafe. Never is it okay to do that.
And you should always be careful getting out of your car because you know there could be cars coming down the street that don't anticipate you're going to open that door, or bicyclists as well.
It happens all the time. We're always out on the lookout. And now with the distracted driving, it's even more scary to
And how has distracted driving gotten worse over the years?
Well, because people are distracted, there are accidents happening unnecessarily. You know, if we're talking about visibility being 90% of the decisions that are made on the road, well, then you need to see. So you need to have your eyes on the road, focusing on where you're going. Otherwise, you're not going to see. And that's where accidents happen.
And in light of what you said, you've also got to, it's not just your eyes looking, but your mind has to be focused on what's ahead of you and the road and other cars.
And all around you. Absolutely, yes. Mm-hmm.
Tell us about the book you wrote.
So I wrote several books, but the newest one is End Auto Anxiety. It's available on Amazon, and it is to truly end auto anxiety for the busy woman who's looking for a guide on how to maintain her car, save time, save money, and be more proactive.
Okay, and give us your website again, which has information on many of the subjects we've been talking about: safe cars, safe driving, reducing accidents, and also auto mechanics as a career.
Women Auto Know, WOMENAUTOKNOW.com.
Okay. And we talked about auto accidents as a career, and you would advise someone, auto mechanics as a career, and you would advise someone to go into it if they were interested in it. It's a field with a future.
It's a field with a future, and if it's something that you love, then there's so much opportunity. I see kids who are going away to college for a degree and then coming back and working in Starbucks. Here in the trades, we need people to be in it, and if you love it... So
it's a job that's in demand, especially with people who've learned about it, who know what they're doing.
It's absolutely in demand. There's great opportunities.
And let's say people are also honest about it. You know, do an ethical job in fixing cars.
Professional, respectful,
absolutely.
Ethical. Auto repair is a great career.
And what are your other tips if someone has an accident?
Well, if you have an accident, don't panic. Pull over safely. Don't get out of the car, again, with oncoming traffic. Make sure that everybody is okay. And snap some photos.
And I would say, as a lawyer handling accident cases, you should take, if you can do it safely, take photos of the whole area where it happened and all sides of the vehicles, because things are going to change, and you'll have that one opportunity to do it. And let your lawyer or insurance company know that you've taken the photos, and perhaps share it with them. And it's also important to make sure you have proper insurance in case you're responsible for an accident, and supplemental underinsured motorist insurance if you're injured in an accident, so that you have the maximum resources available from your own insurance policy. You should ask your insurance broker or company what that is, but make sure your SUM or UM insurance matches your liability limits. And it's very important in New York. I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
Well, I'm just thinking that that's something that I want to go home and check my policy on to make sure that I have that.
And you can always change it to bring it up to speed anytime during the policy year. And also, if you own property or you earn a good living, you may want to get an umbrella insurance policy, which will provide extra protection above your bare car insurance, and it might give you $1 million worth of protection in case you're sued, because in the New York area people are litigious, and just to protect yourself and give you the peace of mind and of knowing you have that extra insurance. Do you have any other final tips for someone thinking of auto mechanics as a career? What skills can be important, what personality could be important?
Well, for skills, like cars and electronics. And as far as what is important with character, it truly is the right person for the right job is when you're doing something that you love. If you want to be an auto mechanic, well, then you want to be using a wrench and starting to look at computer schematics. And, if you want to be a writer, you're going to be carrying around a pencil and paper.
Have the tools changed over the years?
Well, the tools have changed to some respect, where we have gotten a lot more tools into the trade, but we're still using all the old ones. We still have an impact gun and a wrench and sockets.
And do you find that because cars are more complex, less people are doing the repairs or maintenance on their own? Or there's always a certain group of the population that likes to change their own oil or their brakes or do something else to maintain their car?
Hobbyists will always be hobbyists. If you have a passion and a love for it, then that should always be alive. But today's day and age, you really do need to have the computer backgrounds and the electronic and engineering information in order to be able to follow through and repair the vehicles. There's not too many ways to get around that.
Okay, just give us your website one more time.
WomenAutoKnow.com, and my auto repair shop is GreatBearAutoshop.com.
And that's in Flushing, Queens.
That's in Flushing, Queens.
I would thank and just tell us your book and your book again.
End Auto Anxiety for Busy Women, and that is available on Amazon.
Okay, I would like to thank our guest, Audra Fordin, for being our guest on Law You Should Know and talking to us about car safety. If you missed any part of this program, you can look for the podcast by searching WHPC on iTunes or on Streaker. That's STREAKER.com. Please join us next week right here on 90.3, the voice of Nassau Community College, or also over the internet at nccradio.org at this same time for another program on Law You Should Know.